That's not good. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. Today we've got Dirt Perfect's grapple up here that he uses on his Kubota 90-2 skid steer. We've got her out in the shop. Beautiful day to be out in the shop. I'm gonna try to make a few repairs. Let me kind of show you what it was doing and what we're trying to fix. So pay attention to these hoses right here. This is what we're gonna try to be rerouting and coming up with a solution. That's gonna be thing number one. Yeah, they're kind of in a vulnerable spot. One, getting pinched between the loader arm and quick attach plate, and the other thing is they kind of flop around, getting stuck in the pinch point of the grapple itself. They're just kind of in a vulnerable spot over there. That's going to be thing number one. So the general idea is just a little bit better hose routing for where these auxiliaries go up to the skid steer, keep them up out of the way, and then a way to cover this whole thing up here that can be removable and easy to access if we need to, but protect it from the skid steer quick attach coming in and doing what it's already done. Start with getting these lines out of the way. We're going to lose a little hydraulic fluid. That's going to be okay. Those JIC fittings, nothing fancy there. By the way, if at any time you think, man, I kind of like what we're doing today and I'd like to see more of it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can. Just throw those there for the time being. And we need to get these off. So these are just bulkhead fittings. It's just a fitting that's threaded on there, runs through that steel. Allows you to mount it to things. Pretty self-explanatory. There's no seal or anything like that on it. It just holds it in place. If you have a channel, a really good way to drive comments is clean stuff after you take it apart. People hate that. You got that going for you. Gonna use this super fancy John Deere OEM dirt scraper. Works really well. You can get the aftermarket ones if you want. They don't work quite as well, but these OEM scrapers, fantastic. You can see where it's kind of bent. It's really nothing fancy there. It's just welded right here. Well, you can see the weld on the top side. But there's nothing there. Just go ahead and do this before I forget. Honestly, this is thin enough. I don't even think I need to heat it. I think we can just beat that into submission pretty easily. Clean all this off, slide in there and just beat it. That looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than what it was. That's for sure. The only thing this does is it just holds those bulkhead fittings in the way. But you want it to be straight so nothing's jammed on here like it was before. I think that'll work for that part. Next thing we need to do is figure out how we can route these hoses over here. So I've got some of this pipe laying around from a previous project. I'm thinking we just weld it in right there. Where it goes up, just something to keep the hoses kind of up and straight on the grapple. You can see over there, kind of up and straight. Keep them going that direction towards the machine instead of off to the side. The question's gonna be if I can get both these hoses down through here. There's one. Oh yeah, we could do both of those. We could do both of those. Just cut it right there. I can remember dating Chelsea in high school and going into her dad's shop. He used to drag race motorcycles back in the day, so he's got all kinds of cool tools laying around. And I used to think, man, he's got stuff everywhere. He really needs to clean this out. Well, he started about a month ago, and I am bringing a lot of it out here. So we're about to have the exact same problem. Anyway, he gave me this chop saw, and wasn't sure if it still worked or not. So we're going to try it out real quick. This is just kind of a test run, see if this thing works. Well, that's going to be a game changer for us. Propane is expensive right now, so we're just shutting her on and off today as we go. We'll just run that right there. So that is what we ended up with. Got the little homemade welding camera out too. Bunch of JB welded stuff, and then you just snap a welding lens in there. Hopefully we'll get some good shots with that. There's what we ended up with. About 4 passes just trying to get the gap and everything filled in. And I just kind of tried to pretty it up a little bit on that last pass. That'll work fine. I don't know, maybe I ought to run a couple beads down there in case that ever gets whacked with a stick or something though, huh? I think that'll get this part of it. We got it looking pretty decent up on top. And we got her built up just on the top edge here. I don't think it's worth filling all this in. It's just holding hoses. I just want a little bit of something here, so if this ever gets whacked with a stick while we're using it, it won't kind of try to do that roll peel motion. I think we're good on that component. Let's move to this one. Got a general idea of what I need to get. Let's go shopping at Mike's place. I'm sure we can find enough scraps to make this work. Something in here. Let's do a couple of these. Nope, probably I'll get the right size. A couple of those. Let's see what we can find in here. It might work for what we want to do without a tremendous amount. Ooh. How you doing there, bud? How are you doing? Hey, you're looking kind of like what I'm needing. Well, it's going to take a little trimming up, but I think this is going to be what we're looking for. So this is what we ended up with. I don't think it takes too much imagination to see what I'm after. Do that right there. Oh. It's not terrible. A little slag hanging on the backside, but so height is going to be our next thing. We got to keep it low enough that when the back plate or the skid plate comes in here, obviously it's not hitting. I would say the safe bet would be to just make it a little bit lower than this lip right here. That's kind of the idea of what we're looking for. We got a notch, a place for the hose routing. Yeah. Now we got a little route for our hoses right down through there. Just want to make sure that clears. It does. There's a gap right there. So the next thing we need is I plan on welding these nuts, making a little bracket out of some of this. I got some of this 1/4 inch flat stock from when I built the road drag. I need to make it to where I can weld these nuts on there. Now I got to stay out of the way where those hoses go in though, don't I? Well, that should be okay though. Should be able to take one piece of flat stock and make a bracket right there and not be in the way of anything. So it does something I didn't even take into consideration, which is kind of frustrating. This fitting sits above. I don't have a straight edge out anymore, but that fitting sits above that plate. About a 1/4 inch. Actually, I got an idea. I just kind of want to, let's start the idea and see if it does what I want it to do. It's probably the way this thing should have been done from the get-go. So here's what I ended up doing. I just cut that piece out altogether. It was kind of the awkward link in the whole situation anyway, so I just eliminated it. And then we've got some fire hose protecting everything. You just slide it off if you want to adjust the fittings. The biggest regret I have about this whole thing is this situation. I want to know how you would have done that differently. In my head, I would have just taken a piece of plate. If I had a drill, like a tap and die set, I would have just taken a piece of plate and just drilled and tapped the screw. I think this will work. It'll be strong enough, but I don't think it looks very professional. I think drilling and tapping just a chunk of steel would probably look a little bit better there. Anyway, give me your opinion on that. And I added this chunk of steel in right here. That'll be for the edge of the plate to rest on right there. So that should protect everything and give it plenty to ride on. See how it rides on that right there? Then we got the key in here holding it. And then it's supported all the way around on the edge. And then we just got to put a keeper bolt in there to hold it together. It looks better protected than what it was before. See if we can get her started. And we'll run her in with an impact real quick. I think that's gonna solve a lot of problems. Supported here, supported all the way around. I think you'll be able to hit that as many times as you want with the quick attach plates and not really damage anything too bad. And just one bolt to take it off if you ever got to mess with any of the fittings in there. And that bolt's pretty accessible. Easy with the wrench, easy with an impact. And this should be good because it keeps it up and, over here, away from the pinch points. I had a guy tell me the other day that my wheel seal was leaking on that little 755 because I put too much weight on the front end. I used the loader for too heavy of things. I don't know. Some people are just, they're out of their minds. By the way, this is your reminder. We've got over 400 videos if you want to check them out. There's all kinds of playlists. Check this out. I think it's fantastic. I think that's gonna save us a lot of time and trouble from having to repair hydraulic hoses and fix those fittings that were getting beat up. They're kind of in a vulnerable spot. That is awesome. By this way, I don't know if you can tell, it's got two little kickstands, so when you set it up like that, it's stable. It's not like it's gonna fall back. That's it. That is all I have for this video. I love it. I hope you guys love it. We've got new microphones coming in later this week. I'm going to work for Dirt Perfect for the rest of today, so we got that coming up as well. You're never too old to learn anything, and I was learning the other day doing some research about outros, and they say you need to make your outros 20 seconds or less. So I definitely appreciate